The Clockmaker's Secret, Chapter 2, The Visitors in the Rain. Detective Eleanor Graves returned to the clockmaker's shop later that afternoon, after the coroner had removed Harrow's body. Rain struck the street in glistening silver threads, turning Amberfield's stone pavement into a mirror of blurred reflections. The quiet village seemed to absorb the news of death the way it absorbed the rain, silently, reluctantly, and with an air of inevitability. Eleanor unlocked the shop door. The bell above it chimed, a delicate, fragile sound that felt strangely intrusive. She stepped inside, letting the hush settle around her. The rows of clocks, all motionless except for the single irregularly wound grandfather clock, gave the impression of an audience waiting for her next move. She had returned for one simple purpose: whoever had orchestrated Harrow's death had left something behind. They always did. People imagine they can stage a perfect scene, but human error lurks even in the minds of the meticulous. She walked slowly, letting her fingers glide along a dusty shelf. Her eyes examined every corner. When she reached the workbench where Harrow had slumped, she paused. A faint circular mark remained on the wooden surface, a ring left by the base of the pocket watch he had been repairing. Yet something was missing. She leaned closer. Only half of the watch components were accounted for in the tray. Someone had taken the balance wheel. Why remove only that? She murmured aloud. She was still considering the possibility when the bell above the shop door chimed again. Eleanor turned to find a young woman soaked from the rain, clutching a gloved hand to her chest. Oh, forgive me," the young woman stammered. "I didn't realize anyone was inside. Is Mr. Harrow here?" Eleanor observed her carefully. She was in her early 20s, neatly dressed despite the water dripping from her umbrella, with a nervousness that seemed too brittle to be feigned. "I'm afraid Mr. Harrow passed away this morning," Eleanor said gently. The girl's face drained of color. "No, that can't be. I was supposed to collect something." "You are?" Eleanor prompted. "And you are?" "Clara Whitby," the girl replied. "Mr. Harrow was repairing a watch for my father. A very old one. Family heirloom." Her eyes flicked anxiously around the room. "They said he died suddenly." "Quite suddenly," Eleanor answered. "Did you come here yesterday as well?" Clara hesitated. "Yes, I did. But the shop was closed. The lights were off. I thought perhaps he had gone into the village." Eleanor noted the detail. Harrow had been alive last night, his body was discovered only this morning. Why would the shop have been closed if he were working on a watch, as the half-assembled pieces suggested? Before she could question Clara further, the bell chimed a third time. This time a tall man in his late 40s entered, umbrella tucked under his arm. His expression was unreadable, polished, composed, and unmistakably wary. "Detective Graves," he said, removing his hat. "Inspector Mallory informed me you might still be here. I'm Lionel Harrow, Alastair's brother." Eleanor gave a subtle nod. She had not expected the family to arrive so quickly. Lionel's gaze flicked to Clara Whitby with a hint of suspicion. "I wasn't aware my brother had customers today." Clara stepped back, suddenly intimidated. I only came to collect a watch." Lionel's expression tightened. "My brother rarely worked for outsiders. He was particular about who he accepted commissions from." Clara flushed, but whether from guilt or irritation, Eleanor could not yet tell. Lionel turned to Eleanor. "May I ask, what exactly happened here?" "For now," Eleanor said, "what happened is unclear. But what I do know is that this room contains more questions than answers." As if on cue, the irregular ticking from the grandfather clock faltered, then resumed on a different rhythm. Clara gasped. Lionel stiffened. But Eleanor smiled slightly, though not from amusement. The clock had not sounded like that earlier. Someone had tampered with it again.
Clara Whitby stepped back into the rain, feeling the cold drops run down her cheeks, though she could not decide whether it was the weather or her own trembling causing the sensation. She had told the detective only what she dared, but even so, Eleanor Graves's sharp eyes seemed to pierce every omission. Clara had encountered many adults who dismissed her as fragile or naive, yet the detective had watched her with unnerving precision, as though measuring every breath. She pressed her gloved hand to her bag. The watch, her father's heirloom, should have been finished by now. Harrow had promised as much. Why had he not completed it? And why, of all things, had the balance wheel vanished? Clara could not bring herself to believe it was coincidence. The watch had been lying dormant for decades, its secrets sealed within gears and springs no larger than pins. Her father had warned her that once restored, it might draw attention from those who should never learn of its existence. Lionel Harrow's sudden arrival unsettled her further. His cool, appraising gaze had felt almost accusatory. Did he suspect her? Did he know what the watch contained? As she hurried down the lane, Clara realized one thing with certainty: whatever had happened to Alastair Harrow, it was no simple tragedy. And if she stayed in Amberfield a moment longer, she might be pulled into the very heart of it.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope it helped you practice your English and learn something new. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next lesson. I'd also love to hear from you, so share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support means a lot and helps this channel grow. See you again in the next video.